love Ilia Topuria. Some of the best hands in the sport, current UFC featherweight champion, and knocked out Volkanovski, who was maybe the greatest of all time. Watch him hit the punches. Look at this. See how he's moving his head when the guy throws punches? Just slipping just slightly.
It's like total economy of movement.
And the speed, man. The speed of that. Look at the hand. Look at the hand speed. I mean, these are like 5-6 punches a second.
How are you going to knock Ilia's fucking head off?
Ilia is a fucking beast. You know, the confidence is crazy right now. I think it's a battle of momentum, so I have to go in there and fight for that momentum early and fight the best I can. You know, be prepared as I can be. These are the most elite fighters in the world, and he's one of those guys, so that's why I want to fight him.
Ilia and Justin Gaethje.
Okay.
Ilia and Justin Gaethje. I think that because no matter the outcome, it's going to be good regardless. It's the right fight to make. We got the undisputed champion in lightweight versus the interim lightweight champion. So that's the right fight to make. There's no complaints about that. And then no matter how this shakes out, now obviously everybody's looking at this fight, and I've seen the memes that are like, "Oh man, Justin Gaethje better bring a gun." Da 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 da. And yeah, it's very possible that he could get knocked out early. And if that happens, guess what? It's gonna be good. It'll be good. We'll all celebrate the knockout. We'll be like, "Oh my goodness!" But what I believe is going to happen, I don't think he gets knocked out as early and as easy as everybody else suggests. I think he makes this a little tougher. I think he puts up a good fight. And if that happens, it's
Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje.
I got Ilia Topuria knocking him out after you've been dropped so much, and you're going to fight somebody who's a deadly striker, great wrestler, who has a chin, who's willing to put himself in the fire to land that shot. Let's not forget about Ilia Topuria's body work.
If this is the way they've gone, it only leaves Pimlet versus Holloway.
That's a banger too.
Everything to all the terms on that deal to fight Gaethje. It was just wild how it came about, because for me personally, right? We were told that Ilia was not going to be on the card earlier that week, right? Then we get a call that said, "Hey, if we can make a fight, you can fight Islam or Gaethje," right? And we actually said, "Let's take Islam. We would love to fight Islam," because remember, guys, it's not about picking an opponent because one is harder or easier or scared or not scared. Money's involved, and the bigger the fight, the more money it is. And so we wanted to make the most amount of money, right, that we possibly could. So we were focused on getting an Islam fight. So when you hear Dana say, "Well, that was never a fight," it was because it was talked about, but there was no agreement to fight anybody. So I want to clarify my last tweet, which was, there's a lot of facts here that people are just, Dana's been pretty much honest. Now, as far as, and then he kind of clarified his John Jones comments about, you know, that he was never going to be on the card. I don't know if that's true, because there was a negotiation there also as well, right? It just kind of didn't go anywhere after.
Ilia is not walking into this fight like someone hoping to survive the storm. He is stepping in with a clear mind, a serious plan, and the kind of belief that changes how dangerous a fighter can become. Justin has shared the cage with men who hit hard, men who move well, and men who can drag him into ugly exchanges. But Ilia brings a different type of problem. He is sharp, cold, and focused in a way that does not leave much room for mistakes. That is why this fight feels bigger than a normal clash between two elite names. One man represents chaos, the other looks built to punish chaos, and that contrast is exactly why so many people are locked in on this one.
Ilia and Justin Gaethje.
Okay.
Ilia and Justin Gaethje. I think that because no matter the outcome, it's going to be good regardless. It's the right fight to make. We got the undisputed champion in lightweight versus the interim lightweight champion. So that's the right fight to make. There's no complaints about that. And then no matter how this shakes out, now obviously everybody's looking at this fight, and I've seen the memes that are like, "Oh man, Justin Gaethje better bring a gun." Da 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 da. And yeah, it's very possible that he could get knocked out early. And if that happens, guess what? It's gonna be good. It'll be good. We'll all celebrate the knockout. We'll be like, "Oh my goodness!" But what I believe is going to happen, I don't think he gets knocked out as early and as easy as everybody else suggests. I think he makes this a little tougher. I think he puts up a good fight. And if that happens,
At this stage, Ilia Topuria is no longer chasing greatness like it is still somewhere ahead of him. In his view, he has already reached it. He has won world championships, defended titles, and added a belt in a new division. Which means he has already checked off the goals that once drove him from one level to the next. Those achievements changed the way he sees the sport, and they also changed what it takes to make him care about another fight. He is not moving out of desperation, and he is not chasing empty praise. That is what gives this moment a different weight. This time, the appeal is not about collecting one more trophy or stacking one more headline on top of the last one. What stands in front of him now is a rare opening, one of those chances that can lift a man into another class of life, and he clearly sees it that way. He is stepping towards something he does not want to let slip away. Once a fighter reaches that mindset, things turn serious very quickly. Because a man who knows exactly what is on the line tends to fight with a different kind of edge. When someone feels that much is at risk, restraint starts to disappear, and the hunger becomes far more dangerous than anything people see on the surface.
Desde el punto de vista deportivo, siento que a nivel personal he complacido como todos los deseos que tenía de convertirme en campeón del mundo, de defenderlo, de subir y conseguir otro título. Ahora dentro de la Casa Blanca, que era algo irrechazable, ¿no? De, a ver, tengo que entrar dentro de la Casa Blanca y competir ahí, ¿no? Porque yo al final mi vida no lo baso en las cosas materiales que voy consiguiendo, sino en los momentos que soy capaz de crear, ¿no? Que el día de mañana podré contárselo a mis hijos, a mis nietos, a mis amigos, vivirlo con mis amigos y con mi gente más cercana. Son experiencias únicas. No le puedes decir que no a ese tipo de oportunidades.
That is where Ilia becomes even more dangerous to deal with. A fighter with nothing left to prove is already a problem, but one who still chooses to step in when he does not need to can be even worse. Ilia is no longer accepting fights just because they are available. At this point in his career, the matchup has to matter. There has to be a reason, a real one, something bigger than a date on a calendar or a paycheck on paper. If the fight does not carry real heat, real meaning, or something that grabs the sport by the throat, he seems perfectly willing to leave it alone. That is not the case here. Justin Gaethje brings exactly the kind of threat, intensity, and reputation that can light that fire. The stakes are already built in, and the tension does not need to be forced. It is already there. Ilia can feel it, the fans can feel it, and the sport can feel it. That is why this fight carries so much energy before it has even happened. When the right opponent shows up and the moment feels big enough, Ilia does not hold back mentally. He leans fully into it. He accepts the danger, accepts the noise, and accepts the risk, because that is the type of stage that still moves him. With Justin standing on the other side, this is no ordinary booking. It feels like the kind of collision that wakes up the most dangerous version of him.
Un evento cualquiera contra alguien que no representa nada para mí, pues tal vez que no vaya a competir, pero si es contra alguien que realmente me motiva, es algo que genera como ese deseo y esa esperanza en el público, pues yo le tiro para él.
Part of what makes Ilia Topuria so unsettling is how misleading he seems when you see him up close. Joe Rogan pointed this out clearly, because at first glance, Ilia does not strike people as some unstoppable wrecking machine. If anything, he can appear smaller than many expect, and that first impression can fool people badly. Then the fight starts, and that image falls apart almost instantly. What takes over in that moment is not size or appearance, but clean technique, complete self-belief, and an almost hard to understand level of certainty in everything he does. That confidence is a major part of the danger. Ilia moves like a man who has already made peace with the outcome before the action even begins. He enters violent situations without looking rushed, lost, or overwhelmed. And that calmness inside chaos can break opponents mentally before the deeper damage even starts. There is no wasted motion in the way he works. Nothing looks careless. Nothing feels thrown together. The choices he makes in there seem deliberate, and that is what makes him such a disturbing puzzle to solve. Some fighters win on heart, some on power, and some on grit. Ilia gives off the feeling of someone who has thought through every part of the problem before the bell even rings, and once that kind of fighter is fully locked in, the threat level jumps fast.
The touch of death.
And he's not a big guy. I've never seen him in person, but I was talking to somebody recently, and they said, no, he's 5'7", you know.
He's small, man. He's not big.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a photo of me standing next to him when we did the podcast. We're standing next to you. He's much smaller than me. And, bro, he puts people into the shadow realm.
Yeah.
It's just technique and confidence. His confidence is crazy. He had a victory party for the Oliveira fight the night before.
Drinking wine. I saw.
I don't think he was drinking wine.
No?
I think he was drinking water the night before, but he has drank wine in weigh-ins.
Yeah.
When he's getting ready to weigh in, the weight cut. He only did that for 2 camps, he told me, though. He said, it's too much. I was just like fucking hungover the next day. Like, what am I doing?
Right, and you're about to get your brain beat up. You're dehydrating. You're drinking. Come on.
Well, I think he's dehydrating himself, and he's said the wine actually helps you get dehydrated.
Yeah,
more.
alcohol definitely does.
Yeah, but nobody does that. Nobody drinks wine for the weigh-ins.
Ilia is not just a confident fighter with momentum behind him, he is a rare talent, and that point has been made by both Joe Rogan and Dustin Poirier when they talk about the way he operates. There is something obvious in his movement, something that stands out right away when you really watch him. His mind is quick, his technique is polished, and his overall game is built in a way that lets him hurt people in more than one area. Standing up, he is dangerous. On the ground, he is just as serious a problem. That is what makes him so hard to prepare for, because the threat does not disappear when the fight changes positions. His grappling, in particular, adds another layer that many fighters would rather avoid dealing with. He has handled training partners, controlled people on the mat, and finished fights there, building a reputation that is every bit as real as the one attached to his hands. That is what separates him from fighters who rely on one gift too heavily. Ilia does not simply go in there and compete. He picks opponents apart, breaks down what they do well, and starts taking those tools away from them piece by piece. The worst part for the rest of the division is that he does not look finished as a product. He still appears to be improving. Every challenge seems to sharpen him more, which makes this version of Ilia dangerous enough already, while also raising the possibility that an even better version is still coming.
Yeah, but he's crazy talented.
For sure.
In
For
a
sure.
weird way.
Whatever it is, he has it. He has it.
He's got it in his mind. He's got it in his technique. His grappling's fun. I watched a video of him grappling with Merab, and he was all over Merab.
And that's
crazy.
That's what they say. His grappling's just as good, if not better, than his stand-up.
That's where he started.
I've
He
never
started
seen
as
it.
a grappler.
I've never seen him grapple though.
Well, he finished Bryce Mitchell on the ground, and he's finished a few people on the ground. He does clearly have phenomenal submission.
Now it comes down to the big question hanging over the White House showdown between Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria. Who walks out on top when these two finally meet? Does Gaethje turn the night into another wild war and drag Ilia into the kind of madness that has made him famous? Or does Ilia use his power, control, and precision to take over the biggest moments and steal the show? This is the kind of matchup that can flip in an instant. Which is exactly why so many people cannot stop talking about it. The tension is real, the styles clash hard, and both men bring enough danger to change the fight with one sequence. That is why predictions for this one are going to be all over the place. Drop yours in the comments and say who you believe gets it done. Also subscribe for more fight breakdowns, non-stop updates, detailed analysis, and the latest news surrounding this huge matchup, because this one has all the ingredients to become one of the most talked about fights on the schedule.